Today we're going to look at absolute value and order of operations. Let's start off by looking at absolute value. Absolute value is the distance a number is from 0 on a number line. The symbol that we use for absolute value are these absolute value bars. So anything inside these bars means absolute value, which is the distance a number is from 0. So let's look at the first example. How far away is negative 13 from 0? 13. How far away is 21 from 0? 21. Okay. Notice, whatever is in these bars, you're making it positive. If it's inside the bars, you make it a positive number because distance is always positive. Now let's look at number 3. Number 3, first you find the absolute value of negative 3, which is 3. Then find the absolute value of negative 5, which is 5. Then add them. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Number 4, absolute value of 9 is 9. Absolute value of negative 8 is 8. Add them together, you get 17. Same thing with number 5. Absolute value is 12, 15. 12 plus 15 is 27. Number 6. Now number 6 is a little different. First we're going to subtract. What is 21 minus 17? Then we get 4. Then we take the absolute value of 4, which still equals 4. Number 7, take the two absolute values and then subtract them, and you get 6. Number 8, you could do this with or without the absolute values. Any number minus itself always equals 0. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Number 9. First we're going to subtract. 15 minus 23 is negative 8. Then take the absolute value, which gives us 8. Absolute value of 24 is 24. Negative 15 is 15. Then subtract, you get 9. Number 11. Same thing. Take the absolute values, and then 28 minus 26 is 2. And finally, number 12, take each absolute value, subtract, and you end up then with negative 16 when you do 3 minus 19. Take a minute, copy those down, pause the video if you need to. Next, we're going to look at order of operations. Okay, PEMDAS. Some people call it GEMDAS. I've seen it. So, P, E, I'm going to write it like this, M, D, A, S. And these are from left to right. Okay, and here they have that here too. P stands for parentheses or grouping symbols. E is for exponents. M and D is for multiplication or division from left to right. And A and S stand for addition or subtraction from left to right. Again, this should be a little bit of a review for us. So let's look at this first problem. Notice I have adding, I have dividing, and I have multiplication. So, according to PEMDAS, I'm going to multiply or divide first. These parentheses just mean multiply. So you don't need to think of them as parentheses. It just means a multiplication when there's two numbers next to each other and one or both are in parentheses. So going left to right, division comes before multiplication. So I'm going to do 54 divided by 3, which is 18. I'm going to write down the other information that I didn't use yet. Then I have adding and multiplying. Next I have to multiply. 18 times 2 is 36. 36 plus 7 is 43. Again, anytime I'm going too fast, pause the video and catch up. Number 14. Okay, I see subtraction, I see an exponent, division, and addition. So I know I'm going to have to do my exponent first. 2 to the 5th power means 2 times itself 5 times. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. Then I write down all the other numbers that I didn't use. So the only one I used was the 2 to the 5th power, was 32. Now I have subtraction, division, and addition. So I have to do the division next. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Then I have subtraction, which comes before addition, left to right. So I'm going to subtract. I get 9 plus 6 is 15. Notice I'm writing down each step of the problem. Number 15. I'm going to do 24 minus 4 to the 2nd power times 3 plus 15. I see an exponent, which 4 to the 2nd power means 4 times 4, which is 16. Now I have subtraction, multiplication, and addition. So I'm going to multiply. 16 times 3 is 48, and it's negative. Then I have subtracting and adding. I subtract, I get negative 24 plus 15 is negative 9. And now let's look at number 16. 16, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Remember, this fraction line means to divide. So I'm going to start with my parentheses right up here on the top of my fraction line. Okay, but inside my parentheses I have subtracting and exponents. So I'm actually going to do the exponent first. So 7 minus 2 to the 2nd power means 2 times 2, which is 4. So I simplified that, and I wrote the plus 17. On the bottom, I have, we're adding and we're multiplying. So I'm going to multiply first, and I get 10. Now we'll go back to the top. I'm going to finish up those parentheses. 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 plus 17 is 20. So that's where I got my 20 from. Then on the bottom, 14 plus negative 14 and positive 10 put together is negative 4. 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. Positive divided by a negative is negative. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Now what I'd like you to do is attempt to do numbers 17 through 24 on your own. I'd like you to attempt them, not just copy down my answers. And then what you can do is, after you come up with your answer, you can go back to this video and check your answers. I'm showing every single step. Make sure you do the same, and you should get the same answer. Notice some of these problems have absolute value bars here. So don't forget these. Here we have parentheses for number 17. Here we have absolute value. Absolute value bars are almost like parentheses. So notice here we did 8 minus 5 and we got 3 to the 3rd power. Minus. Now we have to do what's in these bars. So 5 to the 2nd power, 5 times 5 is 25, minus 4 to the third power is negative 64 here. So minus 64. Okay, so these are still in the bars here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate this exponent. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Minus sign. 25 minus 64 is negative 39. And I'm going to write divided by 3. Haven't used it yet. And then I'm going to take the absolute value of negative 39 is 39. And when I divide it by 3, I end up with 13. So this became positive, what was in here. Then I divided it. I got that. Now there's a negative sign because that minus sign was still there. And then I finally did 27 minus 13. So be careful, even down here, you'll notice. Here, there's a set of brackets. These are brackets here, and then there's parentheses. You always start with the innermost parentheses and work your way out. The brackets, again, are just another set of parentheses. It's just another way of showing parentheses. And I'll remember with these problems, with the fraction line, this means to divide. Notice, even in number 19, I'm leaving my answer as an improper fraction. You can't do 56 divided by 12. You're going to come out with a decimal. So instead of doing a decimal, I leave it. I just simplify my fraction. I say to myself, what can go into both of these? I could divide the top by 4 and the bottom by 4, and that's how I ended up with this. Now, if you get something like number 22, when you're done, you get 60 divided by 4. Well, that gives us a whole number, so I ended up with 15. So in math, I like improper fractions. So my suggestion, do not copy my answers. Try to come up with your own answers and then check your work using my answers. Good luck.